And we are live. So for the people
Hello.
on Instagram here, we are also live on the Geeks and Co. YouTube channel and Facebook page right now.
Crazy.
I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to see if there's anybody from those pages watching unless they comment. At least on Instagram, we can see who's watching.
Yes, I
I'm
believe
getting
your daughter's here.
notifications. Sorry.
I believe your daughter's here. There's a hi pops with some waves there. And
There we go. There
yeah.
she is.
Mhm.
So I'm not sure who's going to be watching on YouTube and on Facebook. I don't even know if I can see, but either way, we might as well start the recording, and we'll see where this conversation goes.
All over the place would be my guess.
Probably. Well, knowing you.
Oh,
Oh, ho, ho.
that would hurt my feelings if I had any.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Geek Boutique. My name's JS. I'm right here with my buddy Jeff, Mr. Messiah Complex Cosplay. How are you this week, Jeff? I mean, I ask you like we haven't been talking for the last 20 minutes.
I know. It's fine. I am fabulous. Fantastic. I could not be any better. I'd have to be twins just to handle it if I was any better than that. Hey, Big Daddy. Miley says, hi, Grandpa Jeff. Hello, Miley. Hello, Stu. Yeah, things have been things are good. Other than okay, so I'm gonna have to preface this. So I may lose the feed. We're in the middle of an ice storm right now here where I'm
so
at.
are we right now.
Up
Yeah.
Ontario. So if the power jinks, the phone will still be on. I'll still be able to do the Instagram live, but I will lose obviously the StreamYard connection. So
Yeah. Although
keep that
our
in mind.
storm has turned to snow, so we've been pretty lucky.
Well, it's still ice here,
I
unfortunately.
think we're good. We'll
see what's going to go on. What about you, Mr. Jean Sebastien? How are you today?
I mean, I'm okay. Other than, like I said earlier, I tweaked my back yesterday doing nothing.
The old guy.
I wasn't doing nothing, but old guy problems.
Yeah.
So I'm in a little bit of pain, but I'm on some painkillers and I'm on some whiskey, and I think are good to go.
What kind of whiskey are we drinking today, sir?
I'm a 40 Creek kind of guy.
Yeah,
I'm a Canadian whiskey guy. I like the 40 Creek. For a cheap whiskey, it's pretty good. It's weird because it just says live now. 6 seconds, 7 seconds, 8 seconds. I don't know what's going on, but
there's a delay.
Yeah, that's very weird.
Get out of hand. Michael's saying they're getting some hail there, so that sounds like fun.
Keep your head Michael, down. I don't know what area you're in, but yeah, booze and pills. Yeah, exactly.
Michael's Toronto as well. He's downtown Toronto.
So it's weird because it did a little bit of that as well here when it switched from rain to snow. It went from rain to like ice pellets and then snow. Right. It wasn't hail, but yeah.
We shall see what happens. Anyways,
listen, there's been a lot of stuff going on over the last couple of weeks, or at least since we've had a chance to just sit down and shoot the shit here. It feels like when we do a lot of themed episodes or when we have guests and stuff, we talk about a very main subject, but then a bunch of stuff happens, and then now we're behind on a lot of stuff. The first thing I did want to talk about, though, is the Book of Boba Fett.
The Book of Boba Fett, yes.
So the Book of Boba Fett season 1 has now ended.
It has. Which, by the way, I'd like to point out, has not been confirmed for a season 2 at this point.
I have a theory about that. I know I have theories about everything, but this goes along with what I've been saying from the beginning, that this show was only meant to be a bridge between season 2 and season 3 of The Mandalorian. They needed a way to bring Grogu back because, folks, Grogu is the Mandalorian. That's my theory, and I've said it for like 3 weeks in a row now.
What do you mean?
Grogu, when they call the show The Mandalorian,
yes,
they are referring to Grogu, not to Din Djarin. So the Mandalorian is Baby Yoda. He is the foundling, aka Grogu Show 2. Yeah, well, exactly.
And yes, dude, there will be spoilers for Book of Boba Fett, and pretty much anything we're going to be talking about. This is going to be a pretty spoiler-filled episode. So if you're not caught up on this stuff, then we're going to be talking about this. We're going to be talking about the Doctor Strange trailer. We're going to be talking about probably some Star Trek stuff as well. So yeah, just spoiler alert.
I agree, Jess. I think they're referring to Grogu also. Yeah. So Tennis thinks the same thing. I feel like, they've made too much of a point to say that Grogu is a foundling. He's a foundling. He's a foundling. It's his birthright. He's a Mandalorian foundling. The Mandalorian is Grogu, I think. I don't think it refers to see you, Stu. I don't think it's referring to Din Djarin or Mando at all, but that's just me.
We could agree to disagree on that. That's no problem at all. I have a hard time picturing Grogu walking around with a helmet and armor.
I mean, I don't know that you'll ever see him in a helmet and an armor.
Well, I mean, they've kind of established that's what being a Mandalorian is. So weapons and armor are their religion. Like it is difficult to classify him as a Mandalorian without having him in the armor.
But I also think that they made a point to his rabbi basically made a point to kick him out, right?
Right.
So I don't think that, and they've basically said it in the last season, right? You're now a clan of 2. So he's going to have his own clan and his own Kree with Grogu. And it depends on the sector. Well, exactly, right? So they're not all about the armor. They're not all about you can't take off your helmet, right? That's
I feel like
just that specific clan. That's just that specific sect. Right?
Yeah, the helmet thing, I agree. That's part of the watch. But as far as, I know what you guys are saying for the helmet. You guys are really stuck in the helmet, but the armor and the weaponry is key to being a Mandalorian. Whether you take the helmet off or not, it's the armor and the weaponry. So
totally. And spoiler number 1, Grogu shows up with his own Mandalorian chainmail, his own Mandalorian armor.
Mithril.
It's Mithril, exactly.
Mithril.
In the last episode, in the season finale of the Book of Boba Fett, right? So I think that's where they're going with that. But anyway, what did you think of season 1 or the Book of Boba Fett? Because like you said, we don't know that there's going to be season 2. I don't think there is going to be season 2, but what did you think of the show?
I liked it. I understand people's gripes with it because there were a lot of ups and downs, and I want to see him in little Mando armor. This is Loki Quinn. I'm sure you do. Ridiculous. Make dinner. It was good. It was up and down. I am not a fan of flashbacks and prequels. I find it's just lazy storytelling. Seeing him get out of the Sarlacc pit, great. Let's get to this now. I want to know what's happening now in the story now, especially since this is shared with the Mandalorian. Like it's happening at the same time. Of course, I want to know what's happening now. If you're going to tell me this is Mandalorian 2.5, don't jam up the first 4 episodes with all these stupid flashbacks that end up ultimately
not paying off at all.
Didn't really pay off than it gives. I think it helped us to realize and understand the transition of Boba Fett from lone bounty hunter to someone that's trying to build essentially a family. I think he gets that from his time with the Sand People, having them wiped out, that type of thing. Like, I think that's how he kind of got there from here. So it helped with the character growth. There was just so much time dedicated to it. When you only got 7 episodes to play with, you probably shouldn't spend half of it doing all this backstory that ultimately doesn't really mean a whole lot in the grand scheme of things. It just helps to forge a character along a little bit. But
yeah, I mean, I agree, but I still don't think the payoff was there.
Right. Not an ultimate payoff. Like I was expecting another tribe of Sand People to come in the last episode and save
or something, right?
And none of that happened.
No.
Will we get a season 2? And maybe that will come around to pass. Who knows? It's all in the mind of Jon Favreau and Kathleen Kennedy. But yeah, I don't know. There's so many Star Wars shows coming, right? Like so many Star Wars shows. So I don't know where this would fit in, but.
Well, I mean, like I said, I don't know that there's going to be season 2. I feel like there won't be just because I don't think it was ever meant to be a regular series as much as it was just meant to be that, the Book of Boba Fett. And
right,
like I said, it's the bridge, and
they'll still filter those 2 characters in throughout the.
I guarantee you they will, because I'm almost positive that they're MCUing Star Wars.
Well, they already are. You got Ahsoka appearing again. You got Luke appearing again. All there, right?
Yeah.
So,
and we're gonna end it with an Avengers style crossover.
It's stupid. I mean, yes, that's gonna be great. I'm gonna love every second of it.
I mean, it depends what it's all about. I mean, my understanding is, and I don't know if there's any truth behind this, but it sounds like they're bringing. Oh wow! Now I have a brain cramp again. Admiral.
Grand Admiral Thrawn.
Grand Admiral Thrawn.
Mm-hmm.
They're bringing in Grand Admiral Thrawn. He's gonna be the overarching bad guy of the overarching story. So he's not necessarily going to be the bad guy in any of the individual shows,
right?
But at the end, he's going to be the guy that's been controlling everything, right?
I think it's going to be hard for them to have an Ahsoka show and not have Thrawn appear in some way, shape, or form. That was
he's going to have to appear.
That's what I'm saying. Like he was the crux of her episode when she finally confronted that woman and was like, "Where is Grand Admiral Thrawn?" or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming he'll have to pop up at some point, kind of like Kang did in Loki, right? Like you're going to have to show some level of, I don't know if he'll be shadowed. I don't know if they're going to hold off on the grand reveal for Grand Admiral Thrawn. It's a grand reveal, but yeah, I don't know. I'm curious. I never watched Rebels, so I don't know how the screen version of Thrawn differs from the book version of Thrawn. I'm hoping there's a lot of similarities between the two, because the book version of Thrawn is so badass, so very cool, so awesome. So I'm hoping that.
I mean, Rebels is a cartoon, right?
Yeah, no, I know, I get that.
But I think they portrayed him well. I mean, he is the overarching villain of that series, right?
Gotcha.
He is the big bad of Rebels. So, bringing in Thrawn to Rebels, I think, is what made the show so popular.
Oh, okay.
Because on its own, Rebels wasn't that big of a show. People thought it was a little bit too, especially the beginning, it was a little too for kids, a little too kiddie. Right. And then they brought Thrawn in, and then they brought Ahsoka in, and all of a sudden it became a whole other thing, right?
Right.
I feel, and this is all Dave Filoni's Filoniverse, right? So that's why I'm thinking that's where they're going.
Yeah, quite possibly. Yeah. Michael says Thrawn will be there, and he loved Rebels, so that's good. We will see.
But Boba Fett. So I like you. I had a bit of an issue with the first 4 episodes, although episode 2 out of those first 4 episodes was the better one for me.
Right. Yep.
It's the one where you first see Chris Anston. What's his name? The big Wookiee guy. I can never pronounce his name.
We can go with the Wookiee guy. That'll work.
You see the Hutts show up. You see, you actually get to find out that the Sand People are more than just savages. You see that they have tribes and they have their own culture and their own ways, and you see how they make the gaffy sticks. And out of all those, proceed with caution, obviously. Oh, I'm not sure what that means, but yeah, episode 2 out of those first 4 episodes was by far the best, even though it wasn't all that great. But 5, 6, and 7. I mean, 5 was a full Mando show. 6 brought us Luke.
Tim, that's why I didn't stick with it. Shouldn't take that many episodes to get into anything. Yeah,
you're right.
It's tough when you're spoiled, right. When you're spoiled with the Mandalorian, and I guess that's where they had a problem when they were writing Obi-Wan originally too. Is the first few scripts for Obi-Wan, they had to actually go back and redo them completely because they looked exactly like the Mandalorian scripts. So I think what they were trying to do is make this show stand on its own, even though it was obviously Mando 2.5, have it so that it had a different flavor, a different feel, and everything else. And it did, but we were spoiled because we'd seen what swashbuckling planet-to-planet galaxy-hopping space adventure looked like, and then we got some guy in a jumpsuit with scars on his face in the desert. So, yeah, I mean, it's stuff. If those shows happen in reverse, if you get Book of Boba Fett first, we're all like, oh, this is great, this is Star Wars, and then the Mandalorian hits and we're like, oh my god, we can't get any better than this, but they happened in the wrong order. So yeah, I loved Mando both seasons. Yeah, I mean, who didn't? When Mando first dropped and everybody was like, this is the savior of Star Wars, I'm like, settle down, kids. 1 episode in, you don't know how good this is going to be. I was happily eating my crow pie later on that month or whatever when a few more episodes dropped, and I was like, "Oh, this is actually really good."
Mm-hmm.
For a first live action Star Wars TV show, I think they've knocked it out of the park. And let's make sure that we understand this is only the second live action Star Wars show ever since 1976 to now. We've only gotten 2, so hopefully they're going to learn from mistakes. There's going to be some growing pains. Mando managed to knock it out of the park right away, but this is probably looking more like a fluke now than anything else. I think now you're going to see a little bit more of the hit and miss style thing that TV just is, right? It can't all be amazing. It's Star Wars. Some of the movies are great. Some of the movies suck. Some of the TV shows are going to be great. Some of the TV shows are going to suck. What are you going to do?
Yeah. No, I agree. Do you think that the last 3 episodes made up for the first 4 episodes?
Oh, 100% they did. Of course they do. Yeah. 5 is Boba Fett doesn't even appear in 5, so you've got the wall-to-wall Mandalorian, and you get to catch up and find out what's going on with him and the Darksaber, and he's taken off his helmet, and now he knows where he's got to go and everything else. Which is funny, by the way. I think it's hilarious that he's taking orders from another Mandalorian while he has the Darksaber. I don't know if I sent you that little meme or whatever.
You did.
But Boba Fett turning going, no, you have the Darksaber. You tell her she's not a Mandalorian anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what should happen. But I understand that he's still focused on the way and everything else, and he's still part of the watch and yada yada yada. So, yeah, I think, and then 6 was a nice sort of, bridge. So 5 was all Mando, 6 was still mostly Mando, but at least we got some Boba Fett in there in the setup for 7, and then 7 just blew.
Well, we got a lot of Luke. We got the whole Ahsoka part. We got Luke and Grogu part.
Flawless.
Yeah, Luke was much better.
So good.
Much better.
It's like Filoni read all the reviews for the end of Mando season 2 about all the complaining about how Luke looked and was like, hold my beer, bitches. And it's funny because when they first show him in the episode, they weren't showing him talking. His first few scenes, he would be talking off camera because it would be on Grogu and you would just see his feet and his legs. Like, oh, this is how they're going to solve it. They're not going to show his mouth moving. They're just going to show his face still and it's going to look better. But then they were like, no, dude, no, we're going to show him talking and he's going to look pimp. There's a few times where his eyes look a little bit wonky, but I mean,
yeah, I caught that too. There's a couple times where his eyes look like they're bobblehead eyes. You know what I mean?
Got some eyes going on every now and then, but
otherwise it was amazing.
Oh, it's crazy.
Now, so after the season 2 finale came out, and everybody complained at how bad the CG was for Luke, some guy went online and did a deep fake of Luke. Right? They did a proper CG. Well, it looked so good, they hired the guy.
Yeah. And that's what
Disney hired the guy, and that's why now we've got such a better Luke, because they hired a guy that actually knew what he was doing when it came to, animating that character.
Yep. So Victoria's saying the show really did feel like the book. I understand and appreciate the first part more once the show is over. I liked how we saw the whole character development of Boba. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say earlier. Is it did serve a purpose. I think if we get a 12 episode season of the Book of Boba Fett, I think then dedicating the first third of that to character development and backstory makes sense. When we only get 7 episodes and Boba isn't even in one of them, so really he only gets 6 of them and 4 of them are flashback episodes. That's tough.
Yeah, like you got the intro episode, you've got a decent episode, then you've got 2 filler episodes, then you've got 2 episodes that don't have Boba in it, and then you've got the finale. And it's like, well,
yeah.
Why did you even call it the Book of Boba Fett?
I don't know. Can we talk about how my boy is back though? Can we talk about how my boy is?
So Cobb Vanth.
Yeah, Cobb Vanth.
But I said it, right? When we had that chat.
Yeah, of course.
They all jump to tend to his wound, which tells us that he's not dead, even though in the episode they make a reference of Yeah, because they say something to the effect of, he shot him in cold blood, or
yeah.
So they make you think that he's dead, but then you see him at the end in the back of the tank, and he's not dead at all.
Dude's getting modified. So I hope the modifications aren't too crazy, because I am still collecting pieces for my Cobb Vanth cosplay. Speaking of, these bad boys came in today, so
watch him have a fully different outfit.
It's not cool, man. You better not, because I got the gloves in today. I got the belt in earlier. The shirt is nearly done. I've already got the pants. I've already got the scarf, obviously. So yeah, we're close, kids. We're super close. The gun is being made right now. The holster and belt's being made right now. So we're very close to his armorless look. And then,
but you know what? I mean, if the modded Cobb Vanth is just too much or looks bad, or you don't like it for any reason whatsoever, you can still do the Boba Cobb. You know what I mean?
Will. That's regardless of what the new one looks like. But I am holding off on the armor for now, because if the new one looks dope, then I'm not going to bother with the Boba armor. I'll just do whatever the look is. If the new look is stupid, then I won't. I'll go back to the Boba armor. So, but for right now, we're just getting the undersuit ready and done, and hopefully that should be ready it won't be ready for March, but it might be ready for Niagara Falls. Mm-hmm.
Hey, listen, we need to switch subjects a little bit, because we're already 20 minutes in, and we've only talked about the Book of Boba Fett. And I want to talk about Doctor Strange.
Okay, hold on. Before we move off of Boba Fett, though.
Yes.
So was the finale at least satisfying for you as far as like you got your
so the last 3 episodes did it for me.
You got okay.
Yeah.
So
the Rancor, dude. Boba riding the Rancor. So my biggest gripe with this show was the fact, or not the fact, but was how they were portraying Boba.
Right.
The fact that they were portraying him almost as a wimp. You know what I mean? Like that guy that wants to, stay away from a fight, as much as possible. Maybe a wimp's not the proper term, but you know what I'm saying, right? Like,
sure.
He wasn't that kick-ass, you're going to stand up to me and I'll knock you out kind of guy.
Right.
He is that in the last episode. Like, you really see Boba and Din Djarin.
Yeah.
Boba and Mando. That fight at the end where they're shooting all the pikes.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
That was great.
Boba riding the Rancor.
I know.
Wicked.
How sad is it though that leading up to that singular moment when because you can see them setting it up like something's going to rush in and save everybody, but I completely forgot about the Rancor.
Oh, I had as well.
I didn't know if it was going to be Sand People. I didn't know it was going to be Cobb Vanth. I didn't know who was going to ride in to save the day. I had no clue that it was going to be the Rancor. When it showed up, I was like,
I kind of held out hope that it would be Luke, which wouldn't have made sense.
No,
it wouldn't have worked. I'm kind of happy that it wasn't Luke. I don't think it would have worked.
No.
If
you have him swoop in and save everybody, then it's not Boba's show. It has to be Boba.
No. Yeah. So Boba came in at the end, and I appreciated that because that was my big issue with Loki.
Yeah.
Loki wasn't the villain of his own show, and that was just dumb to me. Like
Loki wasn't even the star of his show. What are you talking about? Let alone
he wasn't the star of his show. Is what you said?
The star of his show, yeah. He's a side character.
I guess he wasn't really the star of his show. No, but
Loki Quinn. I think we all forgot about the Rancor. But not Michael. Michael's like, I did. I called it. Yeah. Sharp cookie you are, sir. Good for you. Anyways,
I forgot about the Rancor. I didn't think of it. So when I saw the Rancor show up with Boba riding, I was like, oh yeah, here we go.
This is what's happening.
The Cad Bane standoff.
Yep.
That was amazing. I liked that he ended killing, I don't think Cad Bane's dead, but he ended up killing Cad Bane with his gaffy stick.
Yep.
I thought that was cool.
A little closure on the whole Sand People thing.
That was the only payoff and closure that I got from the whole Sand People thing was him using the gaffy stick to beat Cad Bane at the end.
Yeah, that's right.
So I thought that was neat. Yeah. Hey, listen, the last 3 episodes really, really did it for me. Good. I'm glad I stuck with it.
Yeah.
For those 3 episodes.
Good. You hear that, Tim? He's glad he stuck.
Tim's gone.
Oh, did we lose Tim? Oh,
yeah, Tim's gone.
Yeah, you're right.
But yes, I mean, Tim should go back and watch these because, I agree.
That would be disappointing. I mean, I guess. I don't know. I've watched enough of Clone Wars to have seen his character on screen, but I didn't really care. So
the thing about Cad Bane is he's been a reoccurring character in all of the animated shows.
Gotcha.
He was introduced in a big part of the Clone Wars. He had a couple episodes in Rebels. He's had at least 1 episode in The Bad Batch. So he's been a reoccurring villain in the animated shows. So it was amazing to finally see him. It's just too bad that they kill him. I hope he's not dead because it'd be too bad to finally give us Cad Bane as a live action character and kill him off in his basically second.
Well, if they've got all these shows, right? They've got all these live action shows.
Well, they do.
Going to be interconnected, so I'm sure they can.
Yeah, they're going to find a way to bring him back. I'd be surprised. Seems so easy to kill him. Yeah, I mean, I don't know that it was easy to kill him as much as it was like a gratuitous kill, right? They just kill him and then we're done. And it's like, I don't know.
Victoria, I love seeing my son Grogu in his little chainmail. Your son, he looks like you. It's crazy how the family resemblance, Victoria. Yeah, we were talking earlier how he looks like Frodo wearing his mithril. That's good. Which I'm assuming we're going to talk about the Rings of Power.
Well, if we've got time, if we can get off of Boba and get through our list here. But yes, I do want to talk about it.
Okay. Doctor
But I do want to talk about Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
So the Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness full trailer has come out. We've seen a lot of stuff. So a lot of characters that again, if you guys have not seen the trailer, you should go watch it. I'm going to spoil one big piece of the trailer right now. Patrick Stewart.
Yeah.
Patrick Stewart's.
Yeah.
I'm assuming Professor X, because
if
you know as well as I do, Marvel could throw us a curveball at him not being Professor X at all.
No. If they pull a WandaVision, I'm gonna lose my shit.
I'm gonna be pissed. I'm gonna be pissed if they do that. But Patrick Stewart's voice can clearly be heard in the trailer saying we should tell him the truth.
Yeah, 100%.
We're getting the Illuminati, which I want to talk about. Oh, you don't know who the Illuminati are? Well, I guess the Illuminati are, it's Marvel's version of who the Illuminati would be. And it's basically all the leaders of the different groups, right? It's Reed Richards, it's Professor X, it's the typical Illuminati characters are Namor, Black Bolt, Iron Man, Reed Richards, Professor X, and Doctor Strange.
Okay.
Doctor Strange is kind of the only one that doesn't.
Oh,
is not leading a group.
Right? No, I do know that's who banished Hulk for Planet Hulk, and then who ultimately paid the price.
I believe so.
Oh yeah, World War Hulk. I have, and I've read it several times. So that's exactly who he goes after. Black Bolt first. Yeah. Iron Man, Doctor Strange, Reed Richards. That's exactly who he goes after, banishing him off the planet.
They're big in the Secret Wars storyline, which we're getting a Secret Wars show. So it would make sense that they would introduce. We're getting a Secret Wars TV show.
I thought it was
on Disney Plus. Sorry, Secret Invasion, not Secret Wars. Yes, Secret Invasion.
We're good now.
Thank you. The whiskey's going down. Good.
Get it in India, son. Fill your boots.
Yes. So, we get Professor X in the trailer. We see Mordo is back in the trailer. Looks a little bit different. I'm gonna say that Mordo that we see in the trailer is not the Mordo from the first movie. He's a variant Mordo.
Why?
And I'm going to even say that this variant Mordo is part of the Illuminati in this version of the Illuminati.
Why do you think it's a different Mordo? He's got dreadlocks now? Like, is that
because the length of his hair would suggest that he's been growing his hair out for much longer than the span between Doctor Strange 1 and Doctor Strange 2. You don't have, 5 foot long dreads in 2 years, 3 years, or whatever it is.
Well, I mean, he's a wizard, right?
Well, fair enough, but I don't know. I just get the feeling that it's not going to be the same Mordo. I get the feeling that trailer specifically is misleading us a lot.
I don't doubt it. I think the problem is how they ended the post-credits scene in the first Doctor Strange movie, where he goes after Benjamin Bratt's character and takes the power from him and leaves him a cripple or whatever. Mm-hmm. I think if it's not that Mordo, it kind of defeats the purpose of having that post-credit scene a little bit. You know what I mean? Because I believe we're going to get some alternate versions of characters. The big, huge scuttlebutt rumor right now is Tom Cruise is going to be Superior
Iron Man.
He was originally asked to be Iron Man before he couldn't, and then what's his nuts took over there. Loki Coon Cosplay is saying Illuminati basically keep tabs on the multiverse and keep it from going to shit. Well, they've done a bang up job so far, haven't they?
Yeah.
Wow. How many terrible times has the multiverse is okay, I'm just going to say this, and I'm so sorry to everybody because you're all going to be upset with me, and that's fine. I'm already tired of the multiverse. I'm already sick of it, and Doctor Strange isn't even here yet. And when they first announced Doctor Strange, the Multiverse Madness, I was so excited. I'm a DC guy, so multiverse, I was like, this is going to be great. And then after the Loki show, and now Spider-Man No Way Home, well done with the multiverse. But now we're going to get all this crazy multiverse shit. Probably none of it's going to stick, because they're all going to disappear back to their own universes, just like they did No Way Home. This should be a cool way of introducing us to the Fantastic Four and the X-Men and properties that they're bringing in now. But they're probably just going to do another WandaVision, just tease us with it, and then
well, I don't know, because we already know that they're bringing the X-Men. We already know that they're bringing actually the Fantastic Four is the next big.
No, I know
into production.
Fantastic Four. I've not heard anything about them officially bringing in X-Men in any way at this point.
Oh yeah, Kevin Feige announced it a while back when he specifically says we're bringing in mutants.
Oh, okay.
He was very specific. We're bringing in the mutants.
Cool.
Although they didn't say the X-Men. When you're talking about the mutants, they're talking about the X-Men.
Right.
But Patrick Stewart.
No, but clearly we're not going to have Patrick Stewart in the MCU being Professor X moving forward. Do you know what I mean? Like that's
so obvious. I feel like he may not. Like he may. The fact that we now have a multiverse, we may get Patrick Stewart as Professor X as much as we can now have another character, another actor also as Professor X, leading the actual X-Men while Patrick Stewart is in the Illuminati, right? Like they could do that type of stuff, right?
They could.
The same way that they can now introduce us to Reed Richards, because Reed Richards is supposed to be a big part of the Illuminati. So now they can introduce us to Reed Richards. Whether he's going to be the Reed Richards that's going to be in the Fantastic Four or not, it's hard to say. Hence Strange being arrested. Yeah. So
he broke it
because he broke the multiverse, exactly,
with a spell.
And then he's being escorted by these old school cartoon Ultron looking robots,
very similar to the Guardian robots that Stark had in whatever terrible Avengers Ultron movie was.
And then you see that Captain Marvel looking character.
And do you think they'll do new X-Men movies? That's more what I was referring to. They've announced that they even have a logo that they are going to be doing a Fantastic Four film, but I've not seen anybody talking about how they're actually going to do X-Men movies. So I don't know. I do know that it's clear that Marvel, even though they own Fox now, that they've wanted to distance themselves, hence what happened with Pietro on WandaVision. They've wanted to distance themselves from the Fox version of X-Men. So my guess is Patrick Stewart is going to be there as a Stinger. Sentry's God, Jeff. Yeah, I'm assuming it's just going to be there for a Stinger, much like it was with No Way Home, where you're going to see some people just kind of pop in and pop out, and we're just never going to see them again. And it's just going to be there for, fan service is what I'm going to call it. I know that seems like a negative connotation, but I'm a fan. I'm okay with some fan service now and then. Like if you're going to throw me a bone and I get to see Patrick Stewart being Charles Xavier one last time, I'm fine with that. I don't need him to populate a new universe of mutants and X-Men and such. He's 103. He's got his own Star Trek show.
Yeah, listen, I don't know that he's going to be Professor X.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
In X-Men movies,
right?
Are they going to make more X-Men movies? 100%, they're going to make more X-Men movies. I guarantee you.
Heard it here first, kids. 100%.
If you don't believe they're going to make more X-Men movies, you're dreaming. The X-Men are the #1 Marvel property next to Spider-Man.
Yeah.
There's no other Marvel property more popular than X-Men than Spider-Man.
Yeah, for sure.
Sorry. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
So it was...
So Robbie, Captain Picard. No, it wasn't Captain Picard.
There might be some rights issues there, Robbie. I know Disney owns pretty much everything, but they don't own Star Trek.
Yeah, I think it's time to tell them the truth. They're all a holodeck program.
Yeah, that's what it is. Tim's saying though, 6 or 7 chairs up there in the trailer, so that'll be interesting because typically it's 4 or 5 in the comics, so 6 or 7. Fan service done right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're usually 6.
Is there 6? Okay.
Yeah. And there's been 7. Black Panther's been part of them. There's been a ton of different people that have been part. Captain America has been part of the Illuminati at one point.
That seems like a character. That seems
weird. There's a number of different people that have been part of the group.
So is that the main thing you want to talk about in this particular trailer? Or was there other things you wanted to address?
America Chavez, we get to finally see in the trailer.
Who is that?
So America Chavez is an alien who has star powers. Literally, she makes portals, star-shaped portals, and she can move between different realities. So she's a multiverse traveling being. She's going to be in this.
What's her analog in the comics? Like, what's the...
So I guess her planet gets destroyed. She comes to Earth as a safe haven.
What's her superhero name? Like, what's her made-up name?
America Chavez. Oh. That's her name. Yeah.
Doesn't have a superhero name?
I don't think she has an actual superhero name. No.
That's gonna be weird.
Let me see. America Chavez, Marvel.
Black Captain Kirk is saying Mordo variant is one and Xavier is another. I think we see a Black Panther up there, but it might be Killmonger. That's fair. I would assume it would be Killmonger.
Yeah, they don't have an actual. Her comic book is just called America Chavez.
That's weird.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
Anyway, they're introducing her in this.
We're using our made up.
We're using her made up names. Yeah. I almost kind of feel like Loki is going to be in this. I feel like they would be missing an opportunity to.
Oops. It'd be pretty stupid if he wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, you have Loki launch the multiverse, and it feels like this is going to be the culmination of this. It would be weird if he wasn't in it.
I mean, I'm fine if he's not, but I mean, I thought she's one of the Marvels. I don't know.
She might be. She might be.
I'm in the weeds on this one, sir. I'm the local DC guy here, not the Marvel head. I don't know the character. I've never heard of it before, so.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure. I've never. I'm not gonna lie. I've never read the America Chavez comic book.
Loki is defo in it. You've heard it here first. Tim is dropping the truth bombs here. Loki is definitely in it.
It's gonna be in this.
Shocked if he wasn't. But again, I think part of the problem is going to be with one of my biggest issues with No Way Home is you're just jamming too many guys in there, and half the time you're jamming guys in just to jam them in there.
Oh, but that's nothing because we're going to get multiple Doctor Stranges in this.
Yeah,
we're getting Defender Strange, we're getting Strange Supreme, we're getting Zombie Strange, and we're getting our Doctor Strange. So there's 4 different Stranges in the trailer alone.
So with that, and then all these other guys, you're going to jump in. Like, where's this? Like, how do you service the story and service those million characters that you want to put on the screen?
Well, I mean, I don't know.
So
I don't know. I'm very excited that we're gonna see Patrick Stewart in this. I am also hypothesizing that when you're seeing in the trailer Wanda just as normal Wanda, and then Wanda as a Scarlet Witch talking to each other, and she reaches and touches her face.
Right.
I think what we're actually seeing there is Wanda and X-Men Scarlet Witch. Because in the X-Men world, the Scarlet Witch has a storyline called the House of M.
Right.
Where when her sons die, so she has kids with Vision, just like she had in the WandaVision show. And then they disappear, and she basically utters the words, "No more mutants." And they all disappear. And then for like a year, there are no more mutant characters in the Marvel comics. M was an amazing story. It was an amazing story. It was crazy. I think they're interjecting the House of M story into this. They're not going to tell us the story of the House of M, but it's the House of M Scarlet Witch that is going to be facing off against Wanda. And then you've got Strange Supreme, or whatever the evil Strange is going to be, versus Doctor Strange. I think that's what's going to be happening off as far as a team off goes. Everything else is just going to be smoke around them. That's what I think.
I guess we'll find out.
Well, we're going to find out soon enough.
May or something?
You know what? I don't even remember when it's coming out.
If only there was some way we could find out. Oh, wait. Look, Google.
Let's see what they say. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is coming out May 6th. So it is coming out very shortly.
Booyah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I hope, I don't know. I hope Benedict Cumberbatch, the Wimbledon tennis match there is enough to carry whatever this is going to be. Tanith is saying Tom Cruise is Iron Man variant who got the centuries right, and it could be the unredeemed one who never joined the Avengers. Sure. Darkhold comes to life and turns Defender into Zombie Strange. Darkhold needs Strange to take over Wanda.
And is that Darkhold that we see in the trailer at the beginning? The ribbon guy, is that who that would be? Right? I mean, is that an actual manifestation of Darkhold? I mean, who knows?
Is Ryan Reynolds pulling an Andrew Garfield? Spoiler alert. Is because now there's
rumors that he was on set.
Yeah, in suit.
Yeah.
And yet he has just come out and said unequivocally he is not in it. And he did say the same thing about Zack Snyder's Justice League, because there were rumors that he was on set as Green Lantern, and he's like, I'm not in it, and he wasn't in it. So he at least has some credibility as far as that goes. But is he doing that, or is he pulling an Andrew Garfield / Benedict Cumberbatch, I'm not Khan, and then in the show he goes,
yeah, exactly.
Hey guys, Good to see you.
Wayne's here. Messiah's God. What does that even mean? God.
I don't know what the God.
Tim says yes, I think so. He thinks Darkhold is that character we see, and maybe that's who the actual bad guy of this movie is. Who knows? With them breaking the multiverse, right? Who knows what it could mean? I love the effects in the trailer though. When you're seeing the dream sequence at the beginning of the trailer, and you're seeing the Sanctum Sanctorum like melting upwards, like it just looks amazing.
A great ornery dude. Yeah, I'll take it, man. I'll take that.
Great ornery dude.
I'll have to get that on a t-shirt. I don't have enough custom shirts. I'll have to get that one on there.
Mr. Jeff.
Uh-oh.
So I was having a chat with Lindsay, who was having a chat with Mike, who apparently are not very happy with the stuff that they are hearing and reading about this new Rings of Power TV show.
Well, them and everybody else. The trailer dropped and everybody lost their mind. And I'm seeing meme after meme after meme of people talking about woke culture and how it looks so stupid and they got everything wrong. And you've seen 1 minute of footage. There's 5 seasons, $1 billion being spent. Settle down. When the show comes out, if you're 3 or 4 episodes in and it's terrible, and then you want to say, I told you so, knock yourself out. After a single minute of footage, y'all need to calm down. You have no idea what the show looks like. You have no idea what the show is going to be.
To be fair, they're all holding out on hope that they're going to watch the show and the show's going to be amazing.
I think those two are. I think a lot of the zeitgeist is just crapping all over it based on that 1 minute, and they're talking about boycotting it, and they're talking about how they don't want to see it's so
well. I haven't heard anything about boycotting it, but yes, of course, a lot of people online are talking shit about it because talking shit online is what is popular, right? People want to see you talk shit, and me and you have had this discussion before where when I make a video on the YouTube channel that is me talking shit about something, I get 5,000 hits. When I talk about a video like Boba Fett where I loved it, I get 30 hits. Right?
Sure.
So I mean,
the always comes out better. But Tim's right here. Red flag. If someone used the word woke when complaining about inclusion, they're part of the problem. Of course they are.
Yeah, except Tim, that's not what they're saying. The problem is they're not calling it woke because of inclusion. They're calling it woke because apparently, and again, this is me hearing all of this secondhand. So if you guys want to correct me, please do. But apparently the showrunners have gone out and said that they're actually modernizing, because you got to remember, the story of the Rings of Power, there are no books for that. They're taking the information out of the appendixes of the Lord of the Rings book, and they're making their own story with it, right? So they're modernizing that story based on our world's view in politics of today instead of Tolkien's world view in politics. That's what people are having an issue with, and that's why they're calling it woke. Not because of inclusion, but because they're trying to make it a reflection of our reality instead of what they are fans of, right? So they're a fan of Tolkien's world, not of our world.
Yes, granted. So a couple things. So the rights they have access to is only the 4 main books.
And yes, correct.
They do not have the rights to borrow stuff from the Silmarillion, the
correct
Tales, any of that. They can only use the 4 books,
which is dumb as appendices. Like, I don't understand it.
Rights issues are rights issues. But the showrunners are convinced. So it both handcuffs them and actually kind of helps us, because now they can't range too far outside of the 4 book
material. Fair enough. Yeah.
In case they step on anything that does appear in those works, and then they get rid of the copyright suit. So they kind of stick with, and from what they've said, the main plot points of how the Rings of Power came to be, most of that does get referenced through the 4 main books and in the appendices. And that's what they're using to build that off of.
Right.
As far as everybody seems upset by the cast, because we have a black elf and a person of color dwarf that's a woman that doesn't have a beard. Like, this is where people are losing their minds because they're calling it woke because of the inclusion factor. Who fucking cares?
Yeah, that's dumb.
There's nothing. This is not the same thing as a historical figure, a real life historical figure. Like, they did a show that took some flack called Anne Boleyn, and they had recast Anne Boleyn as a black lady. It didn't affect the quality of the show. The show was still a great show, but at least It's so stupid. Don't get me wrong, but at least I understand the argument. That character is a real person that really existed, and they didn't look like that. Exactly. Michael saying, who cares, for fuck's sakes? I agree. This is even worse than that, though. These are fictional characters that never existed. Mm-hmm. So who cares what they look like? They can be all Asian, they can be all black, they can be all white, they can be all yellow. It doesn't matter what they physically look like as long as the writing is there and the performances are good. Why are we getting upset about this? Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Right? Am I wrong?
No, not at all.
So what are they mad about? Like when you're talking about Mike and Lindsay being all upset, what are they upset about?
Well, again, it's so
because I know what Mike's upset about. We probably shouldn't mention it here.
Well, I don't know. I haven't spoken to Mike directly. I've only spoken to Lindsay.
Yeah.
But my understanding, and again, I don't want to speak for her.
No, I get it.
She's trying to explain to me what people are upset about, right? So again, I'm because I am not a fan of the Lord of the Rings to the level where I follow these things like they do.
Right.
So I saw a video come by my feed today talking about how people are hating on this, and I'm like, wait, what? And that's why I messaged Lindsay. I was like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah.
So there's a couple things. One, visually, they feel it looks too different from the Peter Jackson look. So right off the bat, they feel it looks too generic, too Game of Thrones. What's that?
Too much like a TV show and not a series of movies that were shot in New Zealand?
Fair enough.
By the way, that's not taking place in the same universe. They've been clear about that too. It is not taking place in the Peter Jackson universe. They just said it just the other day.
And I mean, because I'm assuming that we're going to re-see some of these characters from the Peter Jackson world.
Well, Galadriel.
Like some of these Galadriel is going to be in it. Elrond, I'm assuming, is going to be in it.
In the trailer. So.
Oh, do we really?
She's the blonde girl in the armor. That's Galadriel.
Ah, well, I didn't know. Well, there you go. There you go. And that was one of my questions. That was one of the questions on my list. Are we actually going to see characters that we already know from the movies? And I guess the answer is yes.
The longer lived characters, some of the elves and possibly Gandalf. Sauron. So there are characters that would appear throughout, but this is literally thousands of years before. So you're not going to see any of the hobbits. You're not going to see any of the you're not going to see any of that. You'll see some of the longer lived characters. Yes. I mean, they have access to those characters. It'd be pretty silly if they don't. And some of those characters do play a critical role in how the Rings of Power came to be. So,
and if they're telling the story of the Rings of Power, we're in a sense also going to get the story of the Nazgul.
Right. Which I assume you will.
The Nine Kings of Men, right?
A really good thing here. I want to read this out loud, and I think this is the heart of the issue. As a black guy who wanted to like the Lord of the Rings movies, I was disappointed that the only people of color in the movies were bad humans following Sauron. It can't be overstated how much representation is important. And that's coming from a cis white male. I get it, man. The whole world has been tailored to me for the past, I don't know how, like as long as Hollywood's been around. But when you get something that's not just a token character, when you can actually see representation for you, someone that you can relate to in some way, shape, or form, that's massive. And we can't just keep catering to guys that look like you and me. We have to cater to everybody.
And I agree. And I completely agree with that. And I think we're conflating the issues that these people are having with something else. Because I don't think that that's what when people are talking about this show being woke, I don't think it's about, oh, there's a black elf. I don't think that's the problem.
Everything I've seen meme-wise when they're talking about it, the pictures that they show are the black dwarf and the black elf. So,
well, again, I mean, memes are memes, but let's be honest, right?
That seems to be where the that Valkyrie girl is saying it's a fantasy world. Who cares if they're people of color?
Exactly. It doesn't give a shit, right?
People of color in a fantasy world, Star Wars, Star Trek, everything, because people are racist and suck. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Yeah. So Tim is saying he likes this direction. I don't care. It makes no difference to me. If the writing sucks and the acting is poor, then it doesn't matter if they're people of color or white or whatever. I'm still going to call it out and call it shit.
Correct. I'm going to make one quick point here because Tim made that point. And Tim, this is absolutely nothing against you, bud, but I am going to make it. He made the point that this is sounding like Discovery haters.
Hey, there's one of those
again, BS, because that's exactly my problem with Discovery is the writing sucks and the acting sucks.
That's fine.
Tim hates hearing that because he loves the show, and that's completely fine. He's allowed to love the show, but I get called a fucking racist because I hate Discovery. Do you know what I mean?
Of course. Because
I get called all the time a racist because I don't like it.
You're making the distinction. If your video, you calling out how bad Discovery is, was just a picture of Michael Burnham and you saying this woke garbage has to go, then of course you're going to get called a racist because that's the optics that you're portraying.
For sure.
But if it's not just a picture of Michael, if it's a picture of the Discovery logo and you say writing sucks, direction terrible, where the fuck is the story going? Now at least we can get to a point where, okay, he doesn't like the show.
Definitely.
It's not appealing to him on that particular level. Are you still people that are going to assume you don't like it because of the race thing? Probably, but that's a hill that you have to decide if you want to die on, if you're going to be vocal about a show that is catering to a broader audience with people of color and everything else. So yeah, I don't know. You can not like the show because the writing sucks and the acting's terrible. Of course you can. That's up to you.
Yeah, no, totally.
Yeah.
And again, from my understanding,
that's my point. Yeah. They can't say that about this because they've seen exactly.
They haven't seen it. Exactly.
So it's not that. It's the fact that there's a black elf and a black dwarf.
I think it has to do with the statement that the showrunner made, though, more than the trailer itself.
Fair, but I think the statement came out after the fact. So,
well, again,
yeah.
See, I don't follow it enough to.
What we're going to film, make this in 2022, and we're going to make it so that we're filming it and making it in 2022. Get the who thought this would be a thing we should do?
Hey, listen, can we have a little bit of a timeout here? One quick thing, because I just realized I still have the Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness page up from my Google search. You know Bruce Campbell is in this movie?
Someone mentioned it way back in the chat. I think it was
really
maybe Quinn. Yeah, she mentioned the fact
Bruce Campbell is going to be in Doctor Strange.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what he's going to be. Maybe he'll be like old grumpy Strange.
I mean, could he be like a Multiverse Ash somehow? Does Disney own the Evil Dead?
Fuck, they own everything, man. I don't know.
That would be friggin' hilarious. That would be genius, if you ask me. But
Evil Dead IP. That's a good question. Let me Google that.
Oh, there's actually a lot of people in this movie.
Well, just be careful when you look at cast lists, because a lot of the times, if there's not an official release of
cast, fair enough.
People just throwing names and shit out there. Who owns the Evil Dead? Who owns the rights to Evil Dead? Okay, here we go. New Line Cinema, which I believe is a subsidiary of Warner Brothers. So no, you will not be seeing Ash.
New Line Cinema.
Yeah, I believe.
Yeah, it's Warner Brothers. So no. All right. Well, that solves that. It's Raimi. It is Raimi. Oh yeah, and you know what? And Dr. Doom. Oh wow, you guys are typing all sorts of comments that I want to talk about now. I almost want to go back to this. Yes, we didn't talk about the fact that Dr. Doom is probably going to be, I think, or at least a variant of Victor Von Doom. I think is going to be one of the Illuminati, and this is a Sam Raimi movie. I'm not even sure I'm pronouncing that correctly. Is it Sam Raimi? Is that how you pronounce it?
I think it's Raimi, like
Raimi. Rain, but Raimi.
Raimi, yeah, Sam Raimi.
So he's the director of this movie.
He sure is.
Coming back to Marvel after how many years now?
Well, basically building it, right? I mean, without X-Men and Spider-Man, we probably wouldn't have any of this. So
no, you're right. Yeah. So that should be really, really good.
2001 is when the first Spider-Man film came out. It's been a long, long time.
All right, I'm going to do a very quick switch of subject here because I do want to talk about the Super Bowl DC teaser trailer that came out.
The world needs heroes.
The world needs heroes. Blade. Oh, yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, I'm wondering if this is how they're going to introduce Blade through Doctor Strange. Tim, you got to stop, bud.
Hold on.
We're going to keep talking about Doctor Strange all show.
They kind of already did introduce Blade a little bit. So,
what do you mean?
Post-credit scene of Eternals. The second.
Fair enough. Yeah.
That's his voice. Are you sure you want to do that, Mr. Whitman, or whatever it is that he says to Dane Whitman there?
It is. Yeah, fair enough.
I think you're okay there. Yes, the world needs heroes.
Yeah. So we finally got to see a proper look at The Rock in the Black Adam suit.
Yep.
We got to see Dr. Fate.
Yeah.
And we got to see Hawkman.
Yes, and he looks dope,
dude.
And those
he looks amazing.
I know. But this refers back to what we were talking about earlier. Does it matter what color that skin's dude?
No. Who cares?
He looks dope as shit.
He does. His suit looks amazing. The wings look amazing. Dude, I don't know that I've been this excited for a DC movie in a long, long time. I mean, I'm excited for the Batman. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to see Batman opening night with my buddy Rob, who surprisingly enough isn't online here tonight. I'm surprised he's not watching. I'll have to send him a message after this to say what the fuck. But I am so excited for Black Adam.
Me too.
Because it really looks like we're actually getting the Justice Society.
Yeah, 100%.
Like Justice Society story.
They're recruiting him in that trailer and that little bit pieces that we got from that, and then the Flash, and
now, bit disappointed, I should say. We're not going to get full bad guy Black Adam,
right?
But still, so excited about this movie.
The trailer that came out for DC Fandom, I mean, he does pick up a dude and melt him. So I feel like
he does.
We get a little bit of bad guy Black Adam.
And I'm wondering if we're not going to get like a dual story thing where you see him in the past in the Justice Society, and then you see him now.
Probably get some flashback when he's a shithead. So that's cool.
Yeah.
That's a nice way to build his character arc over the course of the film. So, and then the eventual meetup with Shazam, which will just have to happen. I know Dwayne wants to fight Superman, and he specifically wants to fight Henry Cavill Superman, but that's all in flux. Who knows? Henry Cavill's a very, very busy man, so I don't see that happening in the near future. So, which, by the way, I didn't know. A really, really quick aside. I'm so sorry. I promise I will not take us off on a tangent. But I just rewatched The Suicide Squad, and I felt there's a scene in there. They talk about Dubois, which was Idris Elba's character, Bloodsport. How he got in prison was by shooting Superman with a kryptonite bullet. They don't show us a flashback. They don't show a scene. And I was like, oh, what a missed opportunity. Apparently, Idris Elba went to Warner Brothers and James Gunn, and he was like, I'd be interested in doing a film of that event.
That'd be amazing.
How insane. Because Idris Elba is easily the best part of that movie.
That'd be amazing.
Great. And then, so more Cavill. I agree. More yes, everybody, more Cavill, more. So I know Dwayne wants to fight Cavill. I don't know if that's actually going to happen or not. It probably won't, but they've got to meet him up with what's his nuts anyways.
What's his face basically spoiled the script for Shazam 3, or the early script for Shazam 3 was basically going to be Shazam versus Black Adam.
Of course. Yeah, you have to do it. Is their little mini Avengers thing coming together, bringing this together. I'm fine with it. The two characters are so intimately tied to each other. If you don't have them meet up at some point, what was the point?
Yeah, it'd be silly.
Yeah,
it'd be very silly.
Now, have you seen the photos from the set of Batgirl?
I have not. The photos from the set of Batgirl.
You should take a look. I think if you just type in set photos Batgirl, it should probably be the first thing that comes up.
Oh, because now I typed in Batgirl set photos and Robin came up.
Oh, that's not it.
So is there a Robin cameo in the Batgirl?
No, there is a very cool. There are some very cool shots of a certain Caped Crusader in costume.
So I don't think any of the pictures I'm seeing here are actually set photos. I mean, obviously, I'm seeing a shit ton of pictures of Batman 89 in the Batman 89 suit. So I'm assuming that's who you're talking about, but I'm not seeing any of that.
It is on. There are some shots on Twitter that got released of him in the suit. Oh, those are terrible and grainy. I've seen some better shots than that, but excuse me. Anyways, so not only is Michael Keaton appearing in the live action Batgirl film, which I believe now is getting a theatrical release as opposed to just, like Robbie, look now. There are some very clear shots of Michael Keaton in the suit, and he looks dope.
I'm not seeing, I'm going to have to do some research because I'm not seeing any of this at all. Yeah, I'm going to have to do a little bit of research because I'm not seeing it. But that would be amazing. So that means that Batgirl is technically not... Okay, hang on. So the Justice League that we had is Earth 616? Justice League? Robbie, can you tell me which Earth the Justice League, the Justice League movies and the Wonder Woman and the current DC timeline, which Earth are they from? Because they're basically saying that his Batman, at least that's what they're saying, would be from a different Earth, right? That's how they're playing it in Flashpoint, I guess, right? Because we're getting both. We're getting him and the Affleck Batman in Flashpoint, so he has to be from a different Earth. So does that mean that Batgirl is actually also from Earth Prime? 616 is Marvel. Oh, duh. The numbers is Marvel. Okay, so whatever the Earth is, so she's from a different universe. She's from the multiverse. Is basically what they're saying here. Correct?
Here, hold on. I'm going to try to share my screen here. Can I do that? Share screen. I'll show these again.
Okay, so I just came up with a picture here. And is that actually Michael Keaton in that suit?
Yeah.
The suit looks very different. Yeah, I'm seeing something where you just see him in the middle of a bunch of people.
Yeah, but
it's got the 89 logo, the 89 chest emblem, but the rest of the suit, even the cowl, looks very different.
Select a window or screen. Okay. Oh, okay. Yes. Allow. Okay. Are you seeing? Can you see that on the stream here?
Yeah. Okay. So that's the picture I'm looking at over here as well.
So there's that one, and then there's that one there as well. So it is a little bit different from the classic suit, but Michael Keaton is Batman. Michael Keaton is Batman. Kids, Michael Keaton's Batman. I know y'all flipped out for Toby and Andrew, but Michael Keaton's Batman. Remember how we were talking?
Keaton is back as Batman. That's crazy.
We were talking earlier about how this whole thing got started. This really got started with Superman in 78 and then Batman in 89. Michael Keaton's Batman. I'm flipping out, man. I'm freaking out that's happening. Okay, I'm gonna stop. Whoa. Whoop. So we're gonna stop that share.
There we go.
So
I think the Flash will change the universe. So now Keaton is Earth 1 Batman, and it's still Earth 1. Oh, really? Okay. So is that what they're doing? Are they basically erasing the Batfleck Batman, and now basically Keaton is old Batman, and now we get to move on to something else?
Batfleck is in the Flash film, so
yeah, but he can still be in the movie, but by the end of the movie be erased, right? I mean, that's the whole thing with the Flashpoint is it resets the timeline, right, and then everybody is different, right? I mean, they've done it a couple times now, and it's always Flashpoint that does it, right? The War series of movies ended with Flashpoint. Earth, the New 52 were creating by Flashpoint. Yeah, it's a universe resetting event.
Yes.
So yeah, so Keaton be Batman by the end.
Yes, probably. Who knows? I don't know if he signed a long-term deal. Obviously, he's in Flash and in Batgirl, so maybe it's something that he's going to pop up every now and then in various DC properties.
So okay, so Michael Keaton's like what now? 70 years old.
Let's find out how old Michael Keaton is. I love where we're just googling our asses off this whole time here.
Michael Keaton. Let's look Michael Keaton up here. Michael Keaton is exactly 70 years old. Wow, I was on the spot with that. Yep. So does that perhaps open the door to Batman Beyond?
You know what? I keep hearing about it. I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, I feel if you're going to bring in an old Batman, it only makes sense that you would be doing Batman Beyond, right?
I think the problem is the Bruce Wayne character is integral to that quote unquote franchise.
Mm-hmm.
There is no Terry McGinnis without old man Bruce Wayne.
For sure.
You actually bring in a 70-year-old man to sign him up for multiple movies over the course of Do you know what I mean? Or do you get an actor that's probably closer to in his 50s, you touch him up a little bit with some CGI or makeup and make him into an older guy? Like for a film that hasn't even started shooting, like realistically, we wouldn't be seeing that he'd be 73 or 74 by the time they would even get around to filming such after development scripts and and all that kind of jazz. You want to build a universe, you want to build 3 and 4 and 5 movie franchise. What is he going to be doing, Bruce Wayne, when he's 82? Like, I don't know.
So my question to you then becomes, does it even matter anymore when you've got stuff like the Unreal 5 engine where you can create live action in complete CG and it's seamless?
Yeah, they don't.
It's 100% seamless. They don't need Michael Keaton to make him the main character of a movie anymore.
Yeah, they would just need his sign off, like they got Hamill sign off for his likeness, and as long as he's then yeah, they would do it. I mean, I'm sure he would still want to do it. Obviously, he's coming back for Flash and he's doing Batgirl. Clearly, he's keen on. He's not happy with just being in one comic book universe. He wants to be in, because don't forget, he's also reappearing as the Vulture in the new Morbius movie with Jared Leto on the Sony Marvel side.
Is he really?
Yes. So in the Morbius trailer, him and Morbius literally cross paths, and he says he's going to be talking to him later or something along those lines. He's playing Vulture.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So you're what's out on the Instagram live, by the way. Oh no, there you're back. Yeah. So
interesting.
Keaton's spreading his wings. Right between Vulture and Batman. He's really making a stamp on the superhero universe after a guy that, like I said, literally like helped build it from the ground up back in the late 80s with those 2 films. So
yeah, I'm happy he's back.
Me too.
I mean, I grew up watching him as Batman,
dude.
So
I want to see the car. I want to see him in the cape and cowl. I want him to.
I want to see the car.
I want him to say, "I'm Batman." I want all of it. I don't tease me. Don't have him just walk out in a suit and be like, "Yeah, I used to drive that, but I don't anymore." I don't want any of that. You better put his ass in the suit, and he better do some freaky car. Yeah, dude. Yeah, that has to happen. I don't care what else has to happen. And if he wants to reference a Robin or whatever, that's fine. I don't care about any of that. Sorry, Robbie. I don't care. I need him as Batman at some point in the film.
Yeah, Robbie says he's my Batman for sure. Yeah, I mean,
I think
a lot of people's Batman is Kevin Conroy, but next to Kevin Conroy,
yeah,
Keaton's Batman.
Yeah, it's not George Clooney.
No, hell no.
George Clooney isn't even George Clooney's Batman. That's a Robbie rude. Sorry, man. Hey, Robin's a side dish. He's not the main course. So I need me some damn Batman. My Batman. Yeah. Especially people in our generation. If you were around in 89 and you were of an age that was, I was 16. Come on. It couldn't have been any more influential on my life.
Yeah.
And again, for pre-internet days, that Batman movie was a phenomenon. It was everywhere. Batfleck for me. Yeah. Of course, you're going to get people that are kind of across the board on who. Now, Batfleck is my favorite Batman, but when I initially picture Batman in my head, I cannot help but picture Michael Keaton. It's ingrained in my brain. Right.
I saw the Batman 89 Batmobile come off the trailer to shoot a scene.
Nice.
The scene where he's driving through the forest just before he hits the wall to go into the Batcave.
Yeah.
That was actually filmed in my hometown.
Oh, nice.
So I actually saw them pulling the Batmobile off of the trailer. Bale is my fav. I mean, he was good.
Bale was fantastic. Bale's one of those guys where they're like, we shouldn't even have him as like, how did anybody sign that dude up to be Batman? Like Christian Bale's going to be one of the great. He's the Jack Nicholson of our time, of this generation. Yeah. Like, how did they ever get that dude to be Batman?
Especially as a younger Batman. I feel like Batman Begins.
Oh, it's fantastic. There's never been a better origin story told for Batman.
No.
I
can't be hard to beat.
Yeah. And that's why the Batman with Robert Pattinson, I think, is at least going to be cool, because they're starting off. He is already Batman, but he's still kind of feeling his way through and dealing with some.
Yeah, I guess that's something we never did get with the Bale Batman, right? We got I just became Batman, right, and then you jump straight to, now I've got all the toys.
Yeah, he's not really struggling with the transition.
Yeah.
Which I like Matt Reeves' take on it in the new film, They're real. It's like it's not Batman year 0 or year 1. He literally called it Batman year 2. So Batman, he's got the Batmobile, he's got the bike, he's got the suit. He's been Batman for a little while, but not enough to know what Batman is supposed to be.
So to be fair, he's got a Batmobile, but you can tell it's just a hot rodded muscle car.
Yeah, but
he's got a bat suit, but you could tell it's just a homemade put together suit. He's got a bike, but it's just a bike. You know what I mean? Like it's still early in he's not fully all the gadgets and toys Batman.
I'm glad it's not a year 0 or a year 1. Like I'm glad he's at least established. People know who he is.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's not like he's just coming in completely blind. So, and I don't think we need another scene where we're seeing his parents get shot. I'm good.
But we're going to see it again, whether it's in a flashback or an intro or.
Is there a human on planet Earth?
No.
You could go to deepest, darkest Africa and people would be able to tell you that Batman's parents were dead and that's what became Batman. Like there's no one on the planet that doesn't know that that's his origin. So
but that's like when Spider-Man, what was the first MCU Spider-Man?
Homecoming?
No, Homecoming. Was that the first one or the second one?
No,
the second one was Far From Home. Homecoming, Far From Home, and No Way Home.
Yeah.
Homecoming, everybody was like, we didn't get the Uncle Ben story.
Yeah, because you know why? Because we don't need
We've
it.
seen it 100 times, right?
So instead we get an Aunt May story in No Way Home, but that's fine. Aunt May filled in.
You know what? We had nobody watching on YouTube. Well, we've had constant flow of people watching us on Instagram here tonight. So
I'm telling you, Insta's the place. Well, that's okay.
I mean, it is what it is, and it's fun on Instagram because we get to actually chat
live on YouTube quite some time. So if we do that every week, hopefully we'll start to.
Yeah. So for the people that are watching, if you want to get a better picture quality, if you want to get a better picture, better sound, better everything, you can also watch us on YouTube at the Geeks and Co channel. I mean, technically, you should be seeing us come through in full HD.
There you go.
And you don't have to watch us on your phone. I watched on YouTube a little bit. Well, there you go. How was the quality, by the way? I am hoping it was good. The nice thing about YouTube is people can cast it to their Chromecast or to their Fire Stick, or they can watch it on the TV and sit back on the couch instead of watching it on the phone. Although I know it's more convenient on the phone, but I tend to like watching stuff on my TV rather than on my phone. So that's just me.
That is just you, JS.
We were all over the place tonight,
which we typically do when we do these kind of episodes. That's good.
That's okay. Yeah, that's okay.
Conversation going in the chat there. So
I don't want you to be mad at me. It's sorry. Victoria says it was really good. I honestly like IG better since you're all closer to the camera. Well, fair enough. I still haven't watched the last season of The Expanse.
Dude.
I've been busy. I've been really busy. I will be watching it. Don't worry.
Doctor Strange trailer 162 times at 0.25 speed.
67 times.
0.25 speed. But you can't spend some time watching the conclusion to one of, if not the best sci-fi show on television.
So, yes, I did watch it a bunch of times. I did watch it at 0.25 speed because there was so many little things that caught my eye that I wanted to go back and rewatch and, but no, I haven't watched The Expanse season finale. Did I hear correctly? There's only 6 episodes?
You heard correctly.
Well, that sucks. I wonder what, well,
that's,
either way.
That's what they can negotiate. They went to Alcon and Amazon, said, this is what we want the season to do. This is what we want to portray. And Amazon came back and, okay, cool. This is your budget. And so they had to go through and be like, with that budget, we can only do a maximum of 6 episodes and do justice to the story. So that's what they did. Yep.
Well, I am going to get to it.
Are you?
Yeah. Well,
are you?
For sure I am.
Better.
Mm-hmm.
You're missing out. It's fantastic.
Listen, I've watched all of the other seasons, and I am a fan of the show.
Yeah.
I just haven't gotten around to. I haven't even finished Peacemaker yet.
I mean, it started.
Well, there you go. You're one to talk. It's actually a good show.
I've heard.
It's actually a good show, but I still have 2 episodes to go that I haven't watched yet.
That's why I just rewatched The Suicide Squad so I could lead that into. Like, say just, I watched it like 2 nights ago, so I figure now I can jump into Peacemaker, and because now it's renewed for a second season, so
they have been renewed for a second season. So it's a good time to be a geek.
It really is, man. It's the Renaissance.
It's a good time to be a geek. Yeah.
Phase 4 for Marvel has not exactly been great, but maybe Doctor Strange will turn that around, and we'll see what happens. But permutation of geek stuff, because now I don't know if you saw, there's an animated series tied into The Boys now called The Boys Diabolical. They just released a trailer for that.
Oh, I didn't see that. No.
It's kind of like the Animatrix. There's like episodes in different animation styles.
Right.
Homelander's there. Like it's all, it's
short stories in the world of The Boys.
Animated in different animation styles. So there's never been a better time. There's never been a better time to be a geek than there is right now. It's never been bigger. And it's all downhill from here, kids.
Yeah, I mean, I said, if I don't know, last year, I think I was like, we're on the tail end of the geek culture. Things are going to start dying down. Our kids don't like geek stuff anymore, but
kids love
it. Just keeps coming, right? It just keeps coming. So
yeah. Speaking of, I don't know if you'd be able to see me there or not, but on Monday, the Middlesex London Health Unit reached out to me via email and asked me to come out they're doing a bunch of pop-up clinics for vaccinations, for COVID vaccinations for kids 5 to 11. They're going to a bunch of different schools and a bunch of different places to do that. So I'm going to be coming out as Captain America on Monday from 1:30 to 3:30 at Earl Nichols Arena, if you're in London in the South End. And then from 4 to 6 at Sir Arthur Carty School. So you can come out and see Captain America, get your kids vaccinated. It's going to be good times. Yay.
Kids are going to be pretty stoked.
Yeah, should be good. Should be fun.
Because, when a 4 and a 5-year-old shows up or even a 6 or 7-year-old shows up and sees you in that Captain America suit, to them, you're Captain America, right?
Fantastic.
So, yeah, that should be fun.
Doling out all the high fives and telling them to get jabbed. But
awesome.
Anyways, we should probably start wrapping this guy up.
Yeah, we're going to wrap it up. I mean, we've been on for a while now, an hour and 15 minutes, and then we were on for like another 15, 20 minutes live on Instagram before that. But people are slowly dwindling down anyway, so we might as well end it here. But thanks for everybody for watching live on Instagram. Like I said, nobody actually watched us live on YouTube, but if anybody is listening to this podcast on your favorite podcast platform, because that's right, we're no longer publishing the full podcast on the Geeks and Company YouTube channel. We're only going to post clips here and there of interesting things that happen or were said. And we're going to cut those up into more manageable, easier to intake type little videos. The full podcast is going to get published on your favorite podcast platform, minus Apple and Spotify. I still haven't been able to get that going, but another story for another time. I am assuming you are going to keep posting the full video of the IGTV on your Instagram.
Only way to see the full video is and it will only be the IGTV feed. It will not be the main podcast feed, is to get it through my Instagram channel at Messiah Complex Cosplay. It'll be the whole thing, but the whole live from literally when I press the button to go live to when I sign off on the live. So just understand it's
a little bit longer than the actual recorded podcast, but yes.
Exactly.
Yes. But those are different ways you can check us out. Thanks for watching, everybody. Jeff,
quick
pleasure
second,
as always.
Of course. Wayne is asking, what do you guys have planned for next week? That's a good question, Wayne. We usually talk about it like the day before, but
no, we had somebody that was supposed to come next week, didn't we? Or was that for this week?
That was for this week, and that did not happen. So we'll see what's going to happen next week. We'll probably get back to having at least one guest on, and we'll have a topic that we'll cover. Maybe it'll be a revisit of Lord of the Rings. Maybe it'll be a revisit of something else. Maybe it'll be a brand new topic. Who knows? There's so much going on right now.
Yeah, there's so many different things happening at the same time that it's sometimes hard to even
narrow it down
and stay on topic, right? Because you want to talk about all these other things. So that's why these episodes where we're just talking about all sorts of stuff are fun, because
we
get to talk about all sorts of stuff, right? And and this is really the opportunity that me and you actually get some FaceTime in the week anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Like otherwise, we don't actually get a chance to talk. We exchange a couple messages here and there, but that's about it, right? So
no, it's good. I like it. We'll do it again. But next week, I don't know, Wayne. We'll come up with something. We'll probably have a guest, and we'll go from there.
Hey, Wayne, if you got any suggestions, let us know.
Yeah, by all means. And that goes for anybody. If you have specific topics you want to see us talk about, or if you want to be a guest on the show and you've got something that you want to bring to the table, throw one of us a message and we'll quickly shut you down.
Absolutely.
We'll figure something out for sure. So send us a message.
Oh, here we go. Jeff's turning into grumpy old man. Now it's past his bedtime. And
what do you want me to do? I'm sleepy.
All right, go ingest those.
Yes, I will take my edibles.
Edibles there, and we will catch you next week. Again, thanks for watching, everybody. Hopefully Jeff's going to be a little bit less grumpy in the morning, and he won't know. All right. Well, we'll catch you next time. Stay geeky, everybody.